Hey guys, it's 4ID here, and I'm back with another episode. So, let me tell you this, and most people would not want to agree because everybody feels like they really want to be at the top of the struggle mountain. But I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you with all the truth in my eyes. Art can be a very easy thing to do. Art can be very simple. Art can be it can be a very mindless thing, and it takes a long time to get to that point. It takes a while to get to the point where art becomes easy, where it's like you're not really thinking and it becomes this whole flow state thing. And because of that, many people fall into this point where as you grow as an artist, especially as an artist, but when I say as an artist, I mean generally, as a musician, as an actor, these things can be, let's take away the conversation about the work process and the workflow and everything. Maybe if you're an actor, the learning of the script. Maybe if you're a writer, the putting together the words and everything. But when it comes to anything concerning creating an art, it can be very easy. It can feel very easy at some point. It can feel very mindless. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because as you become better at being an artist, wherever art style you want to be involved in, as you become very much better at being an artist, there is going to be a problem, and that problem is the imposter syndrome. Now, that imposter syndrome can be very helpful in keeping you grounded, can be very helpful in making you chase better things, making you get better. Maybe if you're an artist and you've been doodling a lot, maybe you might want to learn anatomy, maybe you might want to study the fundamentals because you feel like, oh, I've gotten so good at this, and so I want to get into something else that is much better or much more interesting. Maybe that's the case. But when you understand that this can get very easy, no matter the level you are, it can feel very monotonous or easy. Once you get there, it's important for you to know that whatever validation you're getting is for the work that you've put in to making it easy for yourself. Same way it is when maybe you're playing football and it gets so, I can't really dribble, but when I say somebody dribbling, I can tell that they feel this is too easy. But then when I'm praising this person, obviously I can praise the talent and I can be like, oh, this person was born with this talent. But I know fully well the amount of work that this person has put in. Now it might feel easy for this person, but it is not actually easy because I cannot be able to do it until I put the 10,000 hours that they have put into the work. And so whenever you want to think of your art, think about the times where you started off and you couldn't paint, and you draw something and somebody will say, oh, this thing doesn't necessarily look like this person, and then you have to correct something, or then you have to take like an hour looking at this picture, finding out, oh, what is different about this one, what is different between this one and this one. All those times of studying, all those times of going to classes and trying to understand what you need to be better at, those times will get to a point where it will feel like you're not doing those things anymore. It will feel like whatever you do just pumps out the best things. That is where your imposter syndrome comes up. And that can be, like I said, it can be very good, but it can also be very destructive. That's why many celebrities can be very much involved in drugs and all of these disorders that really weren't there in the first place because they understood that they were struggling. At every point, this is what I'm trying to remind you. At every point in life, you have to remember that whatever grace that you're getting is not just simple grace. You have to understand that you deserve the grace that you'll get. You might reach a point where that grace comes at almost no cost because of the cost that you've put in before, but you will forget that you've put in that cost in the first place. Now, I need you to listen to what I mean. You would forget that you've put in that cost. You forget the time that you've put into the work. And when it starts to feel easy, you start to look at yourself like you do not deserve the blessings that you're getting. When I say blessings, I mean like the income or the validation or the audience or the viewers. You do not deserve these things because you feel like, oh, I didn't really do much. Maybe you put in 7 months into your work and you feel like, 7 months is not that much. I just started doing this. How did I get this good? How did I get this much viewers? I'm not even that good. I'm not even the best in the world. And these people are praising me like I'm this. You need that to be grounded. Like I said, you need to understand that you're not the only person. You're not the best in the world. But at the same time, understand that whatever validation that you are getting is because you have put in the work. And you might be wondering, why am I telling you this? The reason why I'm saying this is because there will be a point where you might want to start to sabotage whatever you built because you feel like you do not deserve it. You might feel like, oh, you shouldn't really put in that much work. You might even want to try out something else because you feel, I shouldn't really be here. You might want to join into something that isn't really your style because you feel like somebody else is doing something else. I want to be adventurous. I want to try different things. Be adventurous. But remember what makes what you love. Remember your passion. And remember that this is what pays you. And so, like I've always said, longevity matters. Doing the same thing, commitment matters. Doing the same thing over and over again can feel very weird and can feel very annoying to do it over and over again, even when it feels easy. But at the same time, always remember that ease came at a cost. Playing football, there are many people who played football for the most of their life. Think about Maradona or think about Messi, who were playing football all of their lives, and these people don't have any other thing. In order for you to become the greatest, you probably have to do the same thing over and over again, but just find ways to do it better. And that's where the imposter syndrome can be good. It reminds you that you need to be better, but you don't have to fall for the idea that you need to try something else when you know fully well that you are getting good validation for what you are doing already and what you love to do. Whether this validation is financial, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, whatever it is, try as much as possible. Stay on a course. Stay on that course, because one of the main things that leads people away from what they do is the imposter syndrome. That sabotaging feeling of, why am I doing only this? Maybe I should. You might start off, maybe let's say you start off as an artist, and then you're getting so much praise and everybody's praising you, and you're like, oh, I've gotten so good at art. Maybe I should go and try something else. Maybe I should try boxing. And then you try boxing, and it's like, yeah, you should try different things. Like I said, you should try random things. But you're not a boxer, and you'll probably never be a boxer in the way that you were an artist. So giving up your art in order to become a boxer can just be a problem. And so I'm not telling you to not take risk. I'm not telling you to not try new things. There are many people who have tried different things and they excelled in many things. But never let the reason why you want to try different things be an imposter syndrome. It should be that you've reached the top of your level, or you've reached the top of your career, and you feel like, oh, let me just try something else. Let me delve into something. It should never be an imposter syndrome, because imposter syndrome can be a poison in the shape of a good medicine. It can remind you to be grounded, but at the same time take you out of your passion. And once it takes you out of that passion, it takes a long time for you to come back to it. So this is something that I might want to talk about later in the future and explain exactly what I mean. But this is just a note for you to understand that you need to stay on the course. And when it feels easy, keep doing that. It being easy doesn't mean that it's actually easy. It just means that it's easy for you because you make it look easy to yourself. And you making it look easy to yourself took a long time. It didn't take 2 days. It took years. Understand that. Go back, if you have to go back into your gallery and look at the times that you started, look at your first works, look at your throwbacks, look at all of these things, in order for you to understand that it didn't take 2 days for you to get where you are. You need to do that. And then when you do that, remember to stay on the course. Once again, I'm 4ID. Thank you very much for listening. I will be back next time. Please don't forget to like this channel, subscribe, and share this to whoever you feel like this is important to. I'll be leaving some conversations about things that I just think about. Mainly, I'll be leaving advices, I'll be leaving tips, I'll be leaving reactions. Please just leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much for listening. Peace.